Ah, the holiday season. Lights, laughter, presents, and those conversations that make you want to sneak out the back door. Have you ever noticed how Christmas and New Year's can turn even the simplest gatherings into emotional minefields? It's not because you're weak. It's because family dynamics, combined with unresolved trauma and habits, can be incredibly challenging. But what if there was a way to get through all of it without blowing up, shutting down, or picking a fight? Today, you'll learn how to maintain your peace without giving up on the relationships that matter. Are you ready to rewrite your holiday story? Introduction to the theme. The holiday season brings lights, smiles, and hidden emotional challenges. It's no surprise that Christmas and New Year's put your nerves to the test. When families come together, long-dormant dynamics resurface, like veiled criticism or loaded silences. If you've ever felt like a simple conversation could become a minefield, you're not alone. This time of year amplifies emotions. Why is that? The expectations of harmony and celebration clash with complicated relationships. The pressure to make everything perfect can worsen already difficult behaviors. Recognizing this dynamic is the first step to navigating family gatherings with clarity. And you know what complicates things even more? Confusing toxic behaviors with toxic people. No one is inherently bad, but repetitive actions can hurt. Recognizing the difference allows you to act with emotional intelligence and avoid carrying a burden that isn't yours. That brings us to something essential for understanding these reactions. Understanding toxic behavior during the holidays. Have you noticed how certain behaviors seem to intensify during the holidays? Unresolved traumas often resurface during moments filled with symbolism. Christmas and New Year's bring together relatives and memories, along with emotional triggers. A casual comment can suddenly unearth old wounds no one realized were still there. Often, criticism or excessive control stems from unmet needs. Someone seeking validation might point out others' flaws without realizing the impact. For instance, a controlling relative might actually be masking their fear of losing relevance or control in their own life. Understanding this is incredibly freeing. The festive environment can also amplify toxic patterns. The repetition of the family theater reinforces old roles: the critic, the peacemaker, the rebel. Understanding why these dynamics exist helps you avoid falling into the same traps. But how can you prevent these situations from taking over the holiday spirit? This reflection brings us to a closer look at family dynamics. Family dynamics and their impact during the holidays. During the holidays, the pressure to keep up appearances can be overwhelming. Everyone expects smiles and harmony, but reality often has other plans. This pursuit of perfection can intensify latent conflicts, as if the holiday spirit demands hiding unresolved pain under the dinner table. Keeping the peace doesn't mean losing yourself. There's a fine line between being diplomatic and ignoring your own emotional needs. Saying yes to please others can lead to frustration and internal burnout. Instead, ask yourself, is the sacrifice for peace worth the cost to your emotional health? Long-standing family patterns emerge with full force during holiday gatherings. A trivial comment can reignite rivalries or reinforce old, worn-out roles. That cousin who makes biting jokes or the uncle who keeps reopening old wounds are classic examples. The question is, how do you break that cycle? Maybe the answer lies in preparing yourself before you even step into the event. Practical strategies for holiday gatherings. Before heading to the party, how about taking a moment for self-care? Grounding techniques like deep breathing or visualizing a calm place can help you stay focused. Picture yourself as an anchor, steady even when emotional winds try to sway you. Try practicing 5 minutes of deep breathing before you leave the house. Setting boundaries is essential to protect your emotional well-being. If the conversation shifts to invasive questions like, "When are you having kids?" stick to short, assertive responses. Something like, "I'm focusing on other projects right now," ends the topic without inviting further prying. You don't need to justify your personal choices. Emotional safety is another key component. Visualize a bubble around you, shielding your emotions from criticism or external tension. Team up with a trusted relative or friend to act as your safe harbor during the event. And if the situation becomes unbearable, plan an exit strategy, like grabbing something from the car or taking an urgent phone call. After all, your peace is worth more than a confrontation. Practical example: handling holiday scenarios. Picture yourself at Christmas dinner. That critical relative throws out a comment like, "Are you still in that job?" It's uncomfortable, but you take a breath. Instead of snapping back, you choose a neutral tone and respond, "Yes, and I've been learning a lot there." Neutrality diffuses the tension without fueling the conflict. Now, imagine another situation. Someone starts comparing you to other family members. That can sting, but you know you don't have to engage. A graceful redirection like, "How was your last trip?" shifts the focus away from you. You're the one who sets the tone, not them. By applying these strategies, you realize that holiday gatherings can be less stressful and more manageable. Yes, it's challenging, but you can maintain your balance and even enjoy yourself. The key is understanding that not every conflict needs to be resolved right then and there. Which brings us to an important question. How do you enjoy the holidays without compromising your well-being? Key messages for the holiday season. Enjoying Christmas and New Year's without sacrificing your emotional health is an act of courage and self-care. Prioritizing yourself without guilt is essential for facing these occasions. Remember, putting your well-being first isn't selfish, it's emotional intelligence. How can you give your best to others if you're emotionally drained? Setting realistic expectations makes all the difference. Expect fewer miraculous changes in others' behavior and more awareness of your own reactions. Recognizing that not all family problems need immediate solutions is a relief. Your goal is to navigate the festivities with balance, not resolve years of entrenched conflict. By preparing yourself emotionally for these gatherings, you build resilience. It's not about avoiding family, but adjusting how you interact. What if you turn this experience into a journey of self-discovery? The next step is applying these ideas to make your holidays lighter and more meaningful. Now that you know strategies to survive the holidays, let me ask you, are you ready to put them into action? Are you willing to prioritize your emotional health and finally break those draining cycles? The transformation starts with a decision only you can make. Imagine facing Christmas or New Year's without feeling overwhelmed or frustrated. What if you use this time to strengthen your emotional resilience and build habits that bring you more balance and peace? You don't have to change everything at once, but take the first step with intention and confidence. If this message resonates with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll keep learning more about mental health, emotional intelligence, and other powerful tools to live better. Shall we embark on this journey of change and growth together?